Ladies and gentlemen, now that I've got y'all's attention, y'all some fine-looking folks here at this here storytelling convention. They call me Gran'daddy Junebug, and I'm sure you'll agree why these stories I be telling I call them storytree. My style still has a plot and draws a very fine line, only difference most of the tales that I tell are in rhyme. Now I know some of y'all thinking, homeboy gonna be chillin'. Homeboy gonna be rapping and hip-hopping like a fresh young star. My character came about because the first time I went into a school, I had on a suit and tie, and they introduced me, and I walked up, and a little kid looked up at me. He said, "He's gonna be boring." So I had to figure out a way to sort of grab attention. And so I started calling myself Granddaddy, and I got these bib overalls, and I started putting buttons on the bib overalls. And one day this little boy said, "If you're Granddaddy," and I was calling little boys Junebugs and little girls jelly beans. He said, "If we're Junebugs and they're jelly beans and you're Granddaddy, you must be the Granddaddy Junebug." So from the mouth of babes comes my name. I have probably 200-something buttons and pins between my jacket and my hat now, and it grabs their attention. As soon as I walk in now, it grabs their attention. You know, it's not. They know it's not going to be boring anymore. Yeah. So gets up on her tippy, and she opens the door. And it was dark in there. And she thought maybe she saw something. Then she heard a voice say, my father gave me a book called The Life and Works of Parlors, Dunbar. And when I started reading the book, I realized that one particular story in there was a story that my grandmother always read to me when I was 3 or 4 years old and spending the weekend with her sometimes. And it just kind of, I was like, wow, I know this story. Where do I know this story? Oh, my grandmother. This is the story she read to me. So I started reading it. My kids, they want to hear it every night, and I memorized the story. She cried. But then she reckoned that's what God had called him for. When they listed colored soldiers, and her liars went to war. I crossed bridges. Dr. King was a bridge, Malcolm X was a bridge, Paul Laurence Dunbar was a bridge, Frederick Douglass was a bridge. All these people in history were bridges that I crossed over to get to where I am right now in life. So I have to honor those people. I have to pull the spirit of those people with me when I get up to tell. You know, it's important to carry on the tradition